favorite hobby is riding your bike. So one day you decide to take your bike out for a spin, not knowing that you would never return home. From an interview with my cousin Caitlin on November 26th, she says that this is the exact situation her friend Tim was in. Not only does drinking and driving affect your life, it could affect someone else's life as well. But it could be prevented by following a few simple rules. People die every day from this tragedy that could be so easily prevented, and there are many ways to help people not drink and drive. So I want all of you to put yourself into Tim's situation and think to yourself what it would be like if you were that person riding your bike down the road on a nice fall afternoon. As you can see, many people die every single day from being in a drinking and driving accident or simply being hit by a drunk driver. Statistics show from itsmylife.com that nearly 28 people die every day from a drinking and driving accident. 28. These 28 people could be friends, family, your mom, your dad, your cousins, your grandpa. No matter what, these 28 lives should not be lost in a day. Around here, many people think that since we live in such a small community, that there won't be any drunk drivers, but that isn't necessarily true. In 1998, according to strich.luc.edu, 1 out of every 122 licensed vehicle operators were drunk drivers. Now, I know that has been a long time ago, but if you think about the number of cars that pass down the road, you might not pass 122 of them unless you are in a big city or on the interstate. But a lot of people forget that the probability of you hitting just one of them still remains. So did you know that according to Alcohol Alert, that every 3 out of 10 people will be affected by a drunk driver? So that may not seem like a lot to you, but think about this situation a little more. Quickly, pick 10 people in your life that are important to you. Which 3 of those 10 people will be hit by a drunk driver? Will you be one of those 3 people? It is a rather scary situation if you think about it. But what the good news is, according to centurycouncil.org, is that the percentage of drunk drivers in the United States has decreased nearly 57% since 2001. Although it has decreased, in 2008, statistics showed that nearly 40% of traffic accident deaths were caused by drinking and driving. So this demonstrates that we still need to do something about this issue. So let's take a closer look back at Tim's story. What are some ways that we can prevent this issue? In Tim's case, the driver that struck him on the side of the road had an alcohol level of 0.12. His system contained marijuana, tramadol, and citalopram. This legal limit of your BAC, also known as your blood alcohol concentration level, is 0.08. This proves that he was just a little bit over the limit. A quick little fact from alcoholism.about.org states that an 120-pound woman can reach her BAC level after only 2 drinks, and an 180-pound man can reach his after he has only drank 4. So what do you think are some ideas that could have prevented not only the driver that struck Tim, but also other drivers that hit pedestrians when they are drinking and driving? Well, the most obvious answer is not to drink at all, but we all know that that happens. There are ways that we can help prevent it, but not everyone will follow the rules. One of the first things that you can do to keep yourself from the situation, according to ezinearticles.com, is before going to the party, find a designated driver. Whether it has been your parents or a friend that hasn't attended the party, still find someone that hasn't been drinking. If you can't find a designated driver, spend the night. It isn't worth risking your life or someone else's life just to get home. Another way to prevent yourself from this situation is by giving your car keys to a trusted adult that you know won't be drunk by the end of the night. This way, you won't have the keys, and hopefully when you get your keys from the adult, they will be able to tell if you were steady enough to drive. These are just a few good situations that we can put ourselves into to keep ourselves out of the bad drinking and driving situation. My next point is, how can we fix the drinking and driving situation? I just told you ways to prevent it, but we need ways to completely fix the situation. Even though the driver that struck Tim was about 40 years old, he still should have some common sense not to go drink and drive. It would be a different situation if the driver was underage. If the driver was underage and this situation happened, I think the parents are the ones that need to crack down on their teenagers. But it wasn't a teenager that hit Tim. The obstacle that we are now facing is trying to get the young adults and parents to stop drinking and driving. Who should approach them about it? An adult's parents can't really tell them what to do anymore since they are probably parents themselves. There is one way that people say may help prevent it, and that is by installing sensors in our vehicles. The sensors smell your breath when you get in the car, and that makes the car not start. According to abcnews.go.org, some of the newest cars have invisible sensors that can detect if you have been drinking. To me, this seems like a pretty good idea. Not making someone's car start makes perfect sense to keep them from driving. But obviously not everyone is going to buy a brand new car for that reason. That leads me to my conclusion. Since not everyone is not only going to buy a new car for this situation, they probably aren't going to take this drinking and driving law seriously. I just told you how many people die every day, ways to prevent drinking and driving, and also ways to fix this situation. Take these facts into some consideration. Seriously, take this serious and don't drink and drive. It may be hard not to drink since all of your friends are drinking, but would you rather be the popular one or the one that's alive? So the next time that you ride your bike down the road, think of Tim's situation. Hopefully, someone will have followed the law and not gotten into their car drunk. Because if they have, you might not have been the one that got to listen to my speech today.